I will make your stay miserable in this house, and not even your son can save you.
The chandelier was still swaying when he walked in. It was the kind of slow, ominous movement that didn't belong in a peaceful home. The kind that whispered something terrible had just happened. Adrian Cole froze in the doorway. For a man worth billions, a man who had stared down hostile boardrooms, crushed corporate enemies, and negotiated deals that made governments nervous, nothing had ever prepared him for this. His mother was on the floor, and Vanessa, the woman he was supposed to marry in 3 weeks, had her heel pressed into the old woman's back. Time didn't just slow. It shattered. Mrs. Evelyn Cole's fingers trembled against the polished marble floor, her voice weak and broken. "Please, my child." Vanessa didn't even notice Adrian yet. She stood there in her champagne-colored dress, posture elegant, chin high, like she was stepping on nothing more than a rug that had offended her. Adrian's voice came out low. "Dangerous. Vanessa?" Vanessa's head snapped up. For the first time since he'd known her, the perfect mask cracked. And just like that, everything changed. Before we go deeper into this explosive story, welcome, story lovers. If you enjoy emotional billionaire dramas packed with shocking twists, deep family moments, and satisfying karma, go ahead and gently tap that like button. Subscribe so you never miss stories that keep your heart racing. And tell me in the comments, where in the world are you watching from? Now, let's continue. 3 hours earlier, the Cole mansion had been quiet. Too quiet. Mrs. Evelyn Cole moved slowly down the hallway, one hand resting on the wall for support. Age had bent her slightly, but it hadn't broken her dignity. She wore a simple cardigan, her silver hair neatly combed, her eyes still warm despite the years. She had raised Adrian alone, built him with prayers, held him through nights when there was no food, watched him become a man the world feared. But in this house, she often felt like a guest. Vanessa's voice cut through the silence. Sharp, cold. "You're still here." Evelyn turned gently. Vanessa stood at the end of the hallway, arms crossed, perfectly manicured brows raised in open irritation. Evelyn offered a soft smile. "My dear, I was just heading to the kitchen." Vanessa's lips curled. "You really should stay in your room. The house staff is uncomfortable when you wander around." The words were polite. The tone was not. Evelyn's smile faded just a little. "This is my son's home too," she said gently. "Big mistake." Vanessa stepped forward, heels clicking slowly against the floor like warning shots. "And soon," she said smoothly, "it will be my home." The air changed. Evelyn studied her quietly. For months now, something about this woman had unsettled her spirit. Not loud, not obvious, but wrong. Still, she chose peace. "I only came for some tea." Vanessa's eyes hardened. "You people always want something." The words landed like a slap. Evelyn blinked. "You people," she repeated softly. Vanessa rolled her eyes. "Oh please, don't start acting fragile now." She moved closer. Too close. "You should be grateful Adrian even keeps you here," Vanessa continued. "Most billionaires would have quietly moved their elderly parents somewhere more appropriate." Evelyn straightened slowly. There it was. The disrespect she had been quietly enduring for months. "I raised that boy with my bare hands," Evelyn said calmly. "No one moved me anywhere." Vanessa's smile vanished. And just like that, the mask dropped. "What exactly do you think you are?" Vanessa snapped. The room went cold. Evelyn's voice remained soft. "I am his mother." Vanessa laughed, but there was no humor in it. "Well," she said slowly, "not for long." Then, everything happened too fast. A sharp shove, a lost balance, a fragile body hitting marble. Pain exploded through Evelyn's side as she gasped. Before she could even process what was happening, a heel pressed down on her back. Hard. "Stay down," Vanessa hissed. Evelyn cried out softly. And that was the exact moment Adrian walked in. Back to the present. The mansion was deadly silent. Adrian's jaw tightened slowly, dangerously, as he took in the full scene. His mother, on the floor, crying. Vanessa's heels still resting on her back. Something ancient and protective woke up inside him. Not the billionaire, not the strategist, the son. "Move," Adrian said quietly. Vanessa stepped back immediately, but the damage was already done. Evelyn struggled to push herself up. Adrian was beside her in 2 strides. Gentle, careful. "Mom," his voice softened in a way no one in the business world had ever heard. "Are you hurt?" Evelyn tried to smile through the pain. I'm all right, my child. But Adrian's eyes had already darkened. He stood slowly, turned, and looked at Vanessa like he was seeing her for the very first time. Explain, he said. Vanessa recovered quickly, too quickly. It's not what it looks like, she said smoothly. Adrian didn't blink. Then what does it look like? Vanessa crossed her arms. She slipped. I was helping her up. Silence. Heavy. Deadly. Adrian looked down at the faint heel mark forming on his mother's cardigan. Then back at Vanessa. One slow step forward. Vanessa's confidence flickered. Adrian, don't overreact. Overreact. His voice was still quiet. That was what made it terrifying. You put your foot, he said slowly, on my mother's back. Vanessa's jaw tightened. She was being dramatic. Wrong answer. Very wrong answer. The temperature in the room dropped 10 degrees. Adrian exhaled slowly. The kind of breath a man takes right before everything changes. You're done, he said. Vanessa blinked. What? The wedding, Adrian continued calmly, is canceled. For the first time, real panic flashed across Vanessa's face. Adrian, don't be ridiculous. He was already walking past her, already calling his assistant. Clear Vanessa's access from all Cole properties, he said coldly. Effective immediately. Vanessa's composure shattered. You can't do this to me. Adrian stopped at the doorway, turned slightly, and the look in his eyes finally made her understand. This was over. Completely. You did it to yourself, he said quietly. But the real storm was just beginning. The next morning, the internet exploded. Vanessa had made a mistake. A very expensive mistake. She had underestimated one thing. Adrian Cole did not play halfway when it came to family. Security footage, carefully released, told the story the world needed to see. Not edited. Not dramatized. Just truth. And the public? Oh, they were furious. Sponsors withdrew. Brand deals vanished overnight. Her social circle went silent. Because in the world of power, respect for one's mother still mattered. Weeks later, the Cole mansion felt warm again. Peaceful. Evelyn sat in the garden, sunlight resting gently on her silver hair. Adrian joined her quietly. For a moment, neither spoke. Then Evelyn sighed softly. You didn't have to destroy her life, my son. Adrian looked out at the garden. Yes, he said gently. I did. Evelyn studied him. And then, slowly, she smiled. Because she hadn't raised a weak man. She had raised a good one. Moral of the story. Never mistake kindness for weakness. Never disrespect the hands that raised greatness. And never forget, the way someone treats the powerless tells you everything about who they truly are. If this story moved you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who believes respect still matters. And tell me, if you were Adrian, what would you have done?